Hi, and welcome back to our May 2013 video update. Based on the April RP Data Home Value Index, capital city dwelling values have recorded their first month-on-month decline since December of last year, posting a 0.5% fall across the country. The April decline in values partly reverses the growth seen over the first quarter of the year, where capital city values rose by 2.8%. The negative result for April brings the rolling quarterly movement in capital city dwelling values back to a more sustainable 1.1%. Since the housing market reached a recent low point at the end of May last year, capital city dwelling values have recovered by 4.2%. I believe that the recent results represent more of a speed hump along the road to recovery rather than a sign of renewed trend in value falls. Most indicators at present are positive. We're seeing record-breaking auction clearance rates, reduced selling times, and an improvement in housing finance demand. Combine this with low interest rates, there is a very encouraging feel about the market out there at present and moving forward. Across the major cities, Sydney's values were down by 0.4%, Melbourne down by 0.5%, Brisbane values were down 0.7%, and Perth down 2.5%. Darwin and Adelaide were the only markets to record positive growth for the month. According to an Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development survey, Australia is the world's happiest nation, beating all of the 36 countries that partake in the index. The survey measures the happiness of countries by collecting data over 11 different categories for its Better Life Index. Australia measured favourably in areas such as income, jobs, housing and health. According to the survey, more than 73% of people aged between 15 and 64 have a paid job, compared to the average of just 66%. Australians also work less hours at 1,693 hours a year, compared to the average of 1,776 for the survey. These results are very surprising because if you follow the Australian media in close detail, it would seem that Australia is falling apart. There are predictions of the mining boom coming to an end and reports that property prices are falling and unemployment is going through the roof. However, when you look at the facts, Australia has low inflation, low unemployment and a prosperous future. The media make out that China is heading into a low growth period, when in fact in the last 20 years, 400 million people out of the 1.4 billion population have moved into cities. This is added to the 300 million people already in cities, meaning about 50% of China is now urbanised. China plans to reach 70% urbanisation by around 2030, and in fact get to 80% by 2050, which would be comparable to America. It's not just China though, India is in the same path too. Urbanisation remains at just 30%, but it is heading for 50% in 2030, which means building cities for another 280 million people. Australia is well placed to capitalise on growth in China and India. Its relative proximity to these two countries, plus already strong trade links, means that Australia's geographic location now represents a significant asset. Australia is responsible for nearly a quarter of the global mining revenue, generating more mining wealth than any other single country. Pretty amazing when you consider this is spread across a small population of just 23 million people. As you can see, Australia is in a great position to capitalise on the growth of the Asian countries and is in a better position than many other countries around the globe. So cheer up and don't always fall for the negative commentary you will hear in the Australian media. Thanks for watching and we look forward to seeing you next month.